Also tonight, devastation in Spain. At least 72 people have died in flash floods after a year's worth of rain in just 8 hours. Another big story today. At least 90 people have died in flash floods in Spain after a year's worth of rain fell in just 8 hours yesterday. Rescuers are still searching for the missing after mudslides and torrents of water swept away bridges and left cars piled up on each other in streets. Our climate editor, Justin Rolat, reports.
These flash floods were truly apocalyptic. One town got a year's worth of rain in just 8 hours. Just watch what happens to this bridge. These images have been widely shared on social media. There was little warning. One local mayor said the first flood alert was just half an hour before the torrent arrived. Rescuers have been scrambling to pluck people and their pets from the surging tide of filthy water all day. Just look at the wreckage the floods left in their wake. It is a terrifying reminder of the extreme weather climate change could bring, say scientists.
We're seeing a warming climate which holds more moisture in the atmosphere, and we're seeing more severe storms happening more often. And this isn't just the devastating floods that we've seen in southern Spain, but also across the UK and other parts of the world.
The whole of Spain weeps with you, the Spanish Prime Minister told the families of the missing this afternoon. The rescue effort will continue into the night. Justin Rolat, BBC News.
At least 95 people are now known to have died in the flash floods that have devastated parts of eastern Spain. Among the victims, one Briton. The country's worst national disaster in recent memory saw torrential rain turn streets and rivers, sweeping away vehicles, debris and people as dozens of towns and villages were inundated. The worst hit area is Valencia, where many of the fatalities have been reported. The floods came after a year's worth of rain fell in just 8 hours. Well, tonight there are red warnings for heavy rainfall and storms in parts of the south of the country. Ellie Pitt has the latest.
He is a sign of safety, prepared to risk his own life getting into these currents to save others. This time, it's a woman wading waist-deep in dirty water, clutching her most valuable possessions. In her arms is a little dog. Her life, her home are packed into a couple of bags, but somehow she's still smiling. Now they must wade further into the depths to reach the line that at last pulls them out of danger. Others are calling out for help online. The owner of this dog adoption centre has posted this video saying they are cut off and cars can't reach them. Officials running the rescue operations have told people to stay indoors and help will come. They've been freed from the wrecks of their homes and transported to safety by any means, on land and in the air. But there are others who could not be rescued. The number of dead and missing in these floods continues to rise. A minute's silence was held for them in the Spanish Parliament today. Rainstorms that started yesterday and continued overnight have brought torrents of floodwater that have proved the man-made is no match for Mother Nature's power. Southern Spain at this time of year is usually 25 degrees and more than likely bright sunshine. But this is Chiva, just outside Valencia, where a year's worth of rain fell in just 8 hours. This morning, the realization that parts of this town have been ripped apart. We lost everything, this woman says. The water was up to 2 meters high. Forecasts show the torrential rain and flooding will carry on this week. The relentlessly wet weather will make it difficult to recover from the worst natural disaster this region has seen for nearly 70 years. Ellie Pitt, ITV News.
Well, let's look a little more closely at that intense rainfall and how it's happened. Darren Bett is here. Darren, talk us through the science of what we've seen in Spain.
Yes, thanks very much, Anna. Well, there are still some warnings of heavy rain today in the Valencia area. We're not going to have the same amount of rain that we had yesterday. It was here in Chiva in the west of Spain that there was a year's worth of rain falling in just 8 hours. And the reason was not a named storm. It was a phenomenon called Dana, and that's where you have cold air aloft, higher in the atmosphere over the mountains, low pressure close by, feeding in warm air from the Mediterranean. Warm air at low levels, cold air aloft, the air rises rapidly, it forms the cloud very quickly, leading in this case to a supercell that just sat in the same place over the mountains, bringing the heavy rain, but also bringing golf ball size hail and also some flooding and also some tornadoes. Now, these extreme rainfall events are not that unusual. You tend to get these sort of Dana phenomenon happening several times a year, normally in the autumn. You go back to 1982, and this is where we saw a nearby dam breaking. And in 87, 720 millimetres of rain fell in 24 hours. The impact of climate change means that we're expecting these sort of extreme rainfall events to happen more often and also to become more severe. Anna.